What's going on, y'all? It's your boy H Dog, and I'm back here with another video. And as we all know, it was just a day or so ago when we seen the brand new 15-minute footage of Cyberpunk 2077. And I'm gonna get to the controversy around that gameplay demo and the game itself towards the end of the video. But anyway, I'm gonna get right into it. At the beginning of the gameplay demo, we see V with the Voodoo Boys as she's about to enter the cyberspace. She's like in this tub, and they're like having her like converge into the cyberspace. It kind of reminds me of from the movie Constantine in a way, where you would see John, or you would see I forget the chick's name, but she would like have to be fully submerged. But in this case, like she was only halfway submerged. So it was like some type of transition into the other side, so to speak. It kind of reminded me of that, just in that instance. Within the cyberspace, V meets character Bridget, who's a member of the Voodoo Boys, as she informs V that they're in their BBS, or she calls it a data fortress, which she calls it a bridge to the deep net, which they travel beyond the border and beyond. They want to travel beyond the Black Wall itself. Then the same narrator of the first Cyberpunk demo returned, narrating this new demo. He began by saying that last year's demo showed off their vision for the world of Cyberpunk, its quest and visual design as well. This time around, they showcased the play styles your character can adapt as you progress throughout the story. They showed off two different styles: a strong solo build, who's a character that forces blunt force and taking action. The second style, Netrunner, a playstyle that takes advantage of stealth tactics, hacking, and battlefield control using malicious software. Within the demo, we learned more about the animals, the Voodoo Boys, and the District Pacifica, along with every now and again seeing glimpses of Johnny Silverhand. The demo proceeds to open up with Placide. I kept saying Placid, I don't know why I was pronouncing his name like that, who is a high-ranking member of the Voodoo Boys. This quest in the demo takes you through Pacifica, one of 6 unique districts that's within Night City. Pacifica was designed to be a tourist hotspot within the city, but obviously it did not pan out. When uncertainty struck the global economy, investors pulled their funding, leaving much of the buildings in Pacifica unfinished. It was a place where expectations and reality collided, resulting in a heap of disappointment. Ongoing gang wars plagued Pacifica. Even by Night City standards, it's dangerous grounds for those unfamiliar. As such, it would be recommended to take a fast motorbike or an armored car, which the armored car kind of reminded me of Bumblebee from the Transformers movies, and it looked really good. It showed Grand's Tech Shop showcasing different rarities, different items with rarities. I mean, like they had a samurai jacket that offered stats like physical, thermal, electrical, and chemical resistance, with a brief description of the jacket itself reading, "Nothing says stick to the man like the samurai merch, available at authorized retailers everywhere." And a hoodie with the same stats as the samurai jacket. It was just the same hoodie with the same rarity. The Grand Imperial Mall was the last project in Pacifica to lose funding, which since has been vacated, and the animals have moved in to take over. The Voodoo Boys are the most skilled at using the net. This gang has close ties to the Haitian community. After residents settled in Pacifica after disaster struck their island, forcing a mass immigration, which around that time the Voodoo Boys began, but now they're bigger than they was in the beginning, with them effectively ruling Pacifica. Placide puts you on a mission to infiltrate the Imperial Mall. The animals aren't your normal gang with their presence in Pacifica, which raises suspicions among the Voodoo Boys, to say the least. They value might above anything else, and they like to raise their physical prowess in combat with implants, and their beverage of choice is what they call juice, which is like a potent strength and speed enhancing concoction, which kind of sounds like steroids in a can if you ask me. Whenever the animals converge on one spot, it's usually something big, appointing a leader in this case a woman named Sasquatch. There's unusual tech scene which is where you come in. The character creation lets you choose your backstory with 3 present in the demo. Street Kid, which says, they say if you want to understand the streets, you gotta live them. Gangs, fixers, dolls, small time pushers, you are raised by them all. Down here, the law of the jungle dictates the weak serve the strong. Only low law in the night city you have to break. Nomad reads, roaming the Badlands, looting scrapyards, raiding fuel depots. Life on the road was easy, but growing up in a nomad clan has its perks. Honesty, integrity, and a love of freedom, qualities that few in Night City possess and no amount of money can buy. Corporate, which reads, few leave the corporate world with their lives, few are still with their souls intact. You've been there, you've bent the rules, exploited secrets, and weaponized information. There is no such thing as a fair game, only winners and losers. Whichever backstory you choose unlocks special dialogue options in the dialogue tree. In the solo playstyle, you can rip off a turret using it against the animals. Your enhanced streak also allows you to force open doors or even grab the enemies using them as a human shield. Even Sasquatch isn't impossible to beat as a solo. At the end of the fight, you can choose whether or not to finish her off. With the Netrunner playstyle, you can choose your Netrunner skills to hack into enemy tech, having it do the dirty work for you. You can hack cyber decks, allowing you to reach access points. Quick hacks should let you take control of security cameras. Another hack can let you tweak a training bot's strength, creating some sort of distraction. With your nanowire, you're able to hack from distances. In the net, you won't be able to do anything that won't go unnoticed by corpos or even the organization known as Netwatch. Netwatch and the Voodoo Boys are like fire and ice. With Netwatch wants to maintain the old order and protect people from AI anarchy living beyond the Black Wall. Meanwhile, the Voodoo Boys want to create contact with the free AIs, believing this will enable their boundless expansion on the net and grant them the upper hand over Netwatch. They see this as the end of the world. Both the Voodoo Boys and Netwatch are right. It's noted that it's never a good thing to be on the bad side of Netwatch. Honestly, I'll say like about Netwatch, it kind of seems like they're like possibly a small time organization, or I wonder how big they are. They could be a small organization or big time. But overall, like I will say that the gameplay was impressive. It was very impressive gameplay. I like what I see from it. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going on. They did have a I think it was like a 50-minute or so Q&A after the deep dive video featuring Paul Sasco, Miles Toss, and Phil Weber. And really, mostly during the interview, most stuff I already knew about and stuff I've already reported on, so I didn't even bother, when to talk about that. The only new interesting thing that I didn't know about was that Weber, he confirmed that there won't be any load screens. He wants everything to be like a seamless experience. And then towards the end of the whole video itself, you had Mike Consmith, who spoke about the animals and the Voodoo Boys. He said, quote, when I created the Voodoo Boys, I was looking at a really interesting idea, which is cultural appropriation. What happens when somebody comes in and tries to adopt a culture they know little or nothing about and does it really badly. But one of the great things about having a few years is that you get a chance to do some redos, and one of the best ones is what we've done with the Voodoo Boys now. The Voodoo Boys in 2077 aren't really Voodoo Boys. It was sort of a natural fit. They were coming from Haiti and Dominican Republic, and they were the real thing. And they've managed to take a lot of the elements of their original culture and meld it into the world of 2077. Bring that cyberpunk vibe in a very old and respected culture. So they're a game, but not really. They're more of a cultural phenomenon they're more of a cultural exploration, and I think it's really cool because it shows us a side of the cyberpunk future that we normally wouldn't see. On the other hand, there are the animals. I used to see guys like the animals who live to get strong. They get really strong, like really strong. The animals are like those. They're in it basically to build themselves up and become the tigers of their particular urban jungle. They want to be big, they want to be bad, they want you to fear them just because they exist. The animals are very simple. They have an ethos: get big, lift; get strong, lift. So unlike the voodoo boys who have a culture, the animals have a thing. And contrasting that is interesting because 2077 you get a chance to see that not every gang is the same as every other gang, and what motivates them depends on the people who you meet on the street. And that was pretty much it. If y'all want to watch the full Q&A along with the deep dive, I will have a link to it in the description box for you. But I want to get into like this little controversy that's bubbled up. Well, before I get into that, I know they showed off something else that I glanced over. They did show off the character creation, which I think is really deep. They did show off the skill tree. They said you can like merge classes. You can create your own type of hybrid class if you want to. Mix and match skills. And I know some people are going to roast me when I say this, but it kind of reminds me of Mass Effect Andromeda's skill tree, because if you remember in that game how you were able to like pretty much make your own class type of shit, it kind of reminds me in that aspect, but that's it. But I'm finna get into all this controversy. So people apparently they got mad because that they didn't really have like a male female option. They took that out of the game. But a lot of people think that it's like, oh, they're pandering, but at the same time, like, it's not really a big deal. And honestly, I would rather them take feedback and listen to feedback and make a change than not do anything at all, and say, oh, we're working on it, and nothing happens. Now granted, I didn't ask for this, but at the same time, they're listening to feedback, so I can't be mad at that. And then another thing, some people, I don't know, some people were looking through some shit like, oh, it was some racist shit going on there, but it's like a very small minute of people who think that. But yeah, it ain't really nothing to be even worried about. And then there was a lot of talk that the game was downgraded. And if you ask me, that game was not downgraded. So I don't know what the fuck people were talking about when they said that this game was downgraded. And it just kind of shows you how people are so obsessed with graphics that they get mad when you see a difference in how the game looks. Now, one reason why the game may look different, well, actually there's two things. One, we've been known that they've let us know from the jump, listen, things may change. They've let us know in interviews, they've let us know in trailers, they've let us know in last year's 48-minute gameplay footage. And they let us know this time that this does not represent the final product. This don't mean it's gonna look like this. And you have some people who, I guess they don't understand that, are like, oh, well, I want it this way. Why can't it stay the same? I mean, the thing is though, I didn't even notice any changes. If you ask me, I look at the gameplay that they showed this year and the gameplay they showed last year. It looks the same. Only difference is it was in a different district. Last year's gameplay was in Watson. This year's gameplay was in Pacifica. So that's probably why it looks different. It wasn't downgraded, so I need people to stop reaching. And you got people trying to say that, oh, even Johnny Silverhand was downgraded. First of all, when Johnny Silverhand's character was debuted in that Cyberpunk trailer, that was clearly a CGI trailer. Now, if y'all can't tell the difference between a CGI trailer and actual gameplay, then something wrong with you, and you too young to know the difference between the two. But I don't know, like, people just trying to make a controversy out of nothing. They trying to look for something to say, it's being racist. Oh, it's a downgrade. Oh, this, oh, that. But honestly, I think you could blame that in part too, because this generation we've had so many downgrades that are really historically bad, and people just try to move the goalposts on what a downgrade is. Because honestly, if I had to choose, if I had to be blunt and honest with you, I would rather take a slight graphical downgrade over a gameplay downgrade or a technical downgrade. Like, honestly, like, a gameplay downgrade is obviously the worst of the three, because I mean, this ain't like, y'all over here acting like, some people over here acting like it's an Anthem situation where, oh, that's what they showed. But here's the thing, the difference between Anthem and Cyberpunk is they wasn't transparent. They're being transparent, and they was trying to spin it like, oh, everything you see in here is going to be in the game, and it wasn't. So I mean, you can't really call this a downgrade, Chief. I mean, at this point, I don't know what to say about people. But yeah, anyway, if you ask me, the game was not downgraded at all, so I'm gonna need people to stop reaching. But with that being said, I want to know what you guys think about the gameplay reveal. Were you impressed by it? Were you not? Tell me why in the comments below. Tell me what you think about the game. Are you interested in the game? Are you buying it day one? Do you have it pre-ordered? Let me know in the comments below. We can talk about it. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell to stay updated on gaming news like this. Until next time, it's been your boy H-Star, and I'm out. Peace.